Hey, how's it going? Before we jump into the content, I just want to take a minute to thank you for stopping by the channel and checking out the content. If you like this content and you want to support more content like it, then make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. You can also check out the YouTube membership program and cybertrainingpro.com, where I put practice exams and other things that I couldn't put on YouTube. Again, regardless of how you support the channel and my content, I couldn't be more appreciative. Thank you so much, and let's get into the content. Welcome to Policy Writing 101 for GRC professionals. I'm John Good, and I'm excited to guide you through this journey of mastering the art and science of policy writing within the governance, risk, and compliance framework. Whether you're new to the field or looking to refine your skills, this course will provide you with the foundational knowledge that you need to create, implement, and maintain effective policies that align with your organization's goals and regulatory requirements. First, let's start with an overview of what we're going to cover in this module. So first, we're going to start by understanding the role that policies play in the GRC framework and the distinctions between things like policies, standards, procedures, and guidelines. It's really important that you understand that difference. Then we're going to explore the stages of the policy lifecycle from creation to retirement and identify the key stakeholders that are involved in each of those stages. Finally, we're going to discuss what makes an effective policy and the common pitfalls that you want to avoid. You'll also have various tasks, assignments, or research to do throughout the course, so make sure that you're paying attention to the content. By the end of this module, and especially by the end of the course, you'll be much more versed in policies for your GRC career. So let's start by talking about why it matters. First of all, policies are the backbone of an organization's GRC strategy. They are so important. Set the expectations for behavior, they define boundaries, and they establish a framework for decision making. If you don't have effective policies, an organization risks non-compliance, inconsistent practices, and potentially legal consequences for things like violations of laws or other regulatory requirements. So what's a good policy? Well, good policies provide clarity and consistency, they help manage risks, and they ensure compliance with legal and regulatory requirements. To achieve this, though, they have to be clear, they have to be concise, and they have to be aligned with the organization's overall objectives. They can't just be random things that are put into a document that don't support the organization. Now we're going to break down the differences between policies, standards, procedures, and guidelines. This is so crucial that you understand this because often people get these confused and think they can be used interchangeably. They can't. They are different documents and they have different objectives that they're trying to accomplish. So keep in mind that understanding the differences is key to writing any policies that are supported by appropriate standards and procedures. Policies are high-level documents that outline the organization's principles and expectations. So they answer the what questions. So what are we supposed to do? They also answer the why questions. Why do we need to do this? Standards provide specific, measurable criteria that support policies. So they set the how expectations, and they also set the when expectations. So how we're going to do things and when we're going to do them. Procedures are step-by-step instructions on how to actually carry out tasks to meet standards. These are something that you might be familiar with. So they'll say, do X, then do Y, then they'll say, do Z, and then they'll say, do something else, right? These are step-by-step instructions. They address the who and the how exactly. So who must do this and how exactly they're going to accomplish that. And then we have guidelines. These offer best practices and recommendations. They're more flexible and they provide additional context, but they are not typically required. Policies play a central role in the GRC framework, and you can see that here in the diagram in the center here. They establish governance by defining organizational expectations. They support risk management by setting controls and mitigating identified risks. And they drive compliance by making sure that you're acting in accordance with legal and regulatory requirements. Effective policies not only protect the organization, but they also empower your employees because they set clearly defined expectations of roles and responsibilities that apply to them. Policies, like all critical business documents, have a life cycle. Understanding the life cycle ensures that policies remain relevant and effective. Let's go through each stage in the policy life cycle. The creation stage involves identifying the need for a new policy or revising an existing one. This is where the initial research, stakeholder engagement, and drafting take place. In the approval stage, the draft policy is reviewed by key stakeholders, including legal, compliance, and leadership, to ensure it meets all necessary requirements. When a policy is approved, it moves to the communication stage. It's crucial to communicate the policy effectively to all impacted individuals using various channels such as emails, training sessions, and the company intranet. During the implementation stage, processes and controls are put into place to ensure adherence to the policy. This may involve updating procedures, conducting training, or using technology for monitoring. The review stage is about assessing the policy's effectiveness. This involves regular reviews, which typically happen annually, to ensure the policy still aligns with current regulations and organizational needs. Finally, the retirement stage is when a policy is no longer needed or is replaced by a new one. Proper documentation and archiving are essential here. Understanding the policy lifecycle helps ensure that policies are not only written and created, but they're also maintained over time to remain effective. Let's talk about the key stakeholders that are involved in policy development. First of all, we have legal and compliance. They make sure that we're following regulatory requirements. Then we have human resources, or HR. If something involves or impacts employee behavior or rights, they're definitely going to be involved. Then we have IT and security. These are going to provide technical input and security requirements that need to be in place. And finally, we have the business units. They ensure that the policy aligns with operational needs. Engaging these stakeholders early as possible is key if you want these to be effective and actually aligned with the business and what is necessary. In this module, we covered the foundational elements of policy writing and their role within the GRC framework. In the next module, we'll dive deeper into the characteristics of effective policies and how to draft them. I'll see you there.